who would be the coolest person to have a podcast? And I was like, Malala.
Amazing. I won't lie to you, I've come home drunk and put it on YouTube.
Yes, same.
Leila Navabi is a 23-year-old writer and comedian from South Wales. Described as the actual future of comedy by Le Mayonnaise, in 2021 she wrote and starred in the BBC iPlayer series Vandals, which was met with high acclaim. Since entering her first BBC Writers' Room in 2017, Leila has written for Nevermind the Buzzcocks, BAME Show and The Tourist Trap, among others, and is currently writing on Jack Whitehall's Bad Education. She has recently been named a breakthrough writer by BBC Comedy, and her original BBC Radio 4 drama I've Been So Touched has just aired this autumn. It seems there's nothing Leila can't do. But today she joins us not to write comedy, but to discuss her favourite year in music. Hello, Leila.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, really good. Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
So I've just read out a bio, which essentially just licks your ass for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
But you're doing big things, exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's going well. I'm really happy. It seems to be, like, hard work seems to be paying off. Luck seems to be working in my favour.
Probably a nice chunk of both, for sure.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't really know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your main, what would you say your main kind of port of call is?
Oh, God, I don't have one. This is the problem. I'm, like, just a sort of compulsive attention seeker. Mm-hmm. So I'll just do anything that will let me
I've just set
that.
up a podcast studio in my living room.
Yeah, no. And I have come here. This is your house. At least like you didn't have to go anywhere. I got in a car and came here to come to this.
Yeah, no, respect.
Yeah, so I'll just do. I mean, that's maybe doing myself down. I mean, I like making stuff, I guess, and so I'll just do any of that, which people find very annoying in every single sector I work in. They're like, pick one. You're not a passionate stand-up comedian. And I'm like,
really?
No, I like it. And they're like, but it's one of those things where you've got to.
You've got to know what you want to do, but if you want to do everything, you want to do everything.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing stand-up for?
So I sort of started stand-up properly just before the pandemic, which is a really stupid time to start stand-up.
Unfortunate time.
Yeah, and so then I did a lot of gigs on Zoom, which was really weird. Yeah, which people came to, and that was interesting. I liked it, and then now I'm just doing it. So it's been about 3 years, but I'd say a good 2 on stage, maybe 1.5.
And how's the stand-up going for you? I mean, mainly I spoke about the writing in that little intro.
I'm more of a writer than a stand. Well, I've always said that, but then doing a national show soon, which comes out in October, and
Sweet.
for that, and it was like a competition, and I feel like for that reason, it's like I can now say I'm a stand-up, which is exciting.
Yeah. First and foremost, a writer kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so. I see stand-up as an extension of that, I think.
Yeah, to be fair. Tell us a bit about Bad Education. How did that come about?
I'd worked with one of the producers on it before, a lovely person called Simon, and we'd worked on a radio comedy thing. And then she asked for a meeting. She got a job at Tiger Aspect. She asked for a meeting. So I went for that meeting. We just chatted about ideas and sort of stuff I want to do. And then she went, put a pin in that because you're going to talk to my senior, basically. And so I did that chat. And then after that chat, myself and Priya Hall, who's another comedian writer, and then we were invited into another chat, and they were like, it's about Bad Education. They're doing a reboot of it. I was like, okay. So we had this little Zoom call, me and Priya. It was like 9 a.m, which comedian time is just like...
So early, man.
It's like so early to me. So I was like just woken up. Priya did it at my door, knocked the door, and that woke me up.
Yeah.
That's what it. So we opened, ran up, and we had to do this Zoom call, and I did it. Trying to get on the computer, it wasn't working, so I did it on my phone. So I balanced that sort of like here.
That's rough angles.
Yeah,
for that time in the morning.
It was really bad,
Yeah.
and Jack Whitehall was of course on the phone.
Of course, yeah. Hiya, Jack.
Hiya, you're right. This is how we live. And the rest of the sort of creative team, and they spoke to us about what we thought of the original series and what we'd like a new one to look like, and they asked us to be in the writers' room, and
Very cool.
it was really cool.
That must have been quite like affirming to be like, oh, I must be doing something right because
It was. But it also comes out, as a freelance person, you're always like, oh, I'm probably never gonna work again. Like every job I do, I'm like convinced that it will be my last job. So that was that was an exciting one to be part of, because I feel like it's not come out yet, maybe it'll be terrible, but
it's going to come out and I'm going to be like, shelf.
Yeah.
That's for shit.
Don't release, please don't release. I think it's a tricky one because I don't know what it's going to look like, but the writers' room is incredible. Everyone like involved. I feel so lucky to have been in there with all these new. I say new writers. We've all been writing a lot, but do you know what I mean? Like newly accomplished writers, I guess. Are all amazing. The cast are just so good, and it was like making a school that actually looked like what school was like for me, right? And for everyone else in there. It was really cool.
Talking about what school was like. We're going to talk about some music, and the year that you've picked is a year that you would have been in school. So just tell us what year you've picked and why.
So I picked 2012.
Happy New Year! Thank you to every person.
The winner of the X Factor 2012, James.
To be brutally honest, so you asked me to do this podcast and you said pick a year, and you did say it was to talk about music. I sort of skimmed that bit and was like, great, 2012 was a banger year to talk about because obviously the world was meant to end. I was in school, I was like just becoming like a teenager. It was a truly heinous experience, but also I've since looked through the charts, and because of I think a mixture of all these events, like, you know, it was such a weird time for pop culture and for music as well. And there's a specific song that I think lends itself to that.
Okay. Can't wait to dive into that. So 2012, how old are you?
I was 13.
Yeah, I mean, 2012, you told, like, I appreciate the honesty of, I picked 2012 because the year was going to end, the world was going to end. And then, oh shit, I need to find some music to talk about. You told me 2012, and because I understood the format of the podcast, I instantly thought of the music that came out.
Yeah.
The first one that I thought of was a little-known banger, big, well-known banger in my eyes.
You're going to say the same thing I'm going to...
No, absolutely not.
Oh, really?
If you're going to say this, I'm shocked.
Okay.
It's, I think it's called Girls, Girls, Girls by Conor Maynard, and it goes, girls, 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 like I just can't say no. Never
Yes,
seen
I
them,
thought it was called I Can't Say No.
Oh, maybe it's called that.
Yes, I know that song.
The one that goes, Houston, I think we're
Oh,
going to Prada,
yeah,
that one.
that.
I was pretending to revise my GCSEs in 2012, and that was just constantly on Radio 1.
Yeah, it was.
And yeah, Conor Maynard is just like the third person I thought of.
He was huge. Did he support One Direction that year? I just remember suddenly every single girl I went to school with
Loved Conor Maynard.
loved Conor
He's
Maynard.
just like, no disrespect, Conor, but
Like,
nothing special.
Yeah,
nothing
like,
special.
He's not a looker,
He
is
might
he?
be lovely.
The worrying thing is, I actually have mutual friends with this man. And but he's, from all accounts, like a nice guy, like got a great sense of humour, like just sort of a nice dude, but perhaps maybe more, I would have said more of a presenter type than a like
Interesting, yeah.
musical.
Like, has he thought about going down that route now?
Like like he's just sort of like Philip Schofield vibes. Do you know what I mean?
A
Like
claim that I don't agree with, but
oh, fair.
but
Or maybe like Stephen, what's his name?
Mulhern.
Yeah.
Much more Mulhern.
Mulhern.
Than Schofield.
He is. He looks like Stephen Mulhern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, that's the first thing I thought of was Conor Maynard.
Yeah.
Right. When you've actually assessed the year in music of 2012, you said there was like one particular track. Tell me what it is.
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style.
Obviously.
Opum Gangnam Style.
Oh yeah.
I think that must have come out around like the start of the new school year, I would say.
Yeah,
like
I think
September, October.
It took the school by storm.
It did. Tell me your first memories of Gangnam Style.
Do you know? It was probably something to do with YouTube, because I remember 2012 was like a big year of like Zoella, like
Yes.
YouTube,
The British
YouTube.
Yeah.
That was what everyone was watching.
Yes.
That's what everyone was doing. I don't think I watched any. Genuinely, recently been catching up on all the comedies, like television comedies that came out between 2012 and 2014.
It's weird because I feel like that's something that is a very specific age group just watch YouTube exclusively.
Yeah, I didn't watch anything else. I mean,
Yeah.
no, I don't think anyone did though. Like, it was like watching. That was what we watched.
no,
There
yeah,
was
fully.
sketch shows we watched. We watched all the comedy. It was narrative stuff.
Yeah.
It was all the same people making all the stuff.
Remember that guy, Muffins? Remember that one?
No.
I'll send it to you later. You'll
Great.
really
Yeah, but it was a real good time for that, wasn't it? It was a really
Yeah.
good time.
I just feel like you couldn't put a video now going Muffins.
No, no one
people
would
would
give
just
a
be like,
shit.
oh, it's not very funny. but like at the time,
Very
like,
easily entertaining.
me and like my younger brother and sister, 5 times a day watch
Yeah,
Muffins.
yeah.
So good.
Yeah,
There was a bit
that's
where he
it.
went asbestos muffin, and like it's not funny, but it really was.
I need to know who. Okay, we'll watch this later.
Yeah. Anyway, so
But I think
YouTube.
the marketing campaign for, I believe his name is Psy.
It is.
PSY Psy. And I believe that Psy had probably the most extensive marketing team of, like, it was
Incredible.
insane. To the point where like everyone was talking
South
about
Korea?
him. Yes, I think
so.
I think so. I
Like,
don't think it's
it'll be
North
huge.
Korea.
Yeah,
I'll
this
say
is from
that.
North Korea. God bless Psy, who managed to get out of North Korea via
To release
Gangnam
it again.
Style.
Yeah, well, it's
Incredible.
Gangnam, isn't it? Isn't Gangnam in South Korea?
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, so I think it's like that's the Gangnam dance.
Okay, so Psy's from South Korea, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I was in like a hostel in like Russia. We won't go into it, but I was sharing a room. I was sharing a room.
I won't go into it for my own personal safety.
We don't have to know about that.
Yeah.
I was sharing a room with this like really scary Russian girl who was only a couple of years older than me. Her alarm was set for like 5:30 every morning. Gangnam Style.
No.
I'm not joking.
No, why?
Oh, and it was like the bit that went,
Oh.
sexual lady, that bit.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, this could not get it was like a fever dream.
I the fact you will not go into why you were in Russia at 16 years old.
No,
sharing a room with
it was Belarus. That is a long old thing. It was a charity thing.
Oh, it was like I'm a good person thing
It was,
rather than
yeah,
like
very
oh
much,
good
I'm
for you.
I'm a good person.
Yeah.
That's why we won't discuss it. It makes me look too good.
Yeah, fair. It's not like
Makes me
it's a
look way
praise
too
reason.
good. But yeah, Gangnam Style. That is like my memory of Gangnam Style, just like oversaturation.
It was just everywhere, and I remember every like. You know that I remember like school assemblies. It would happen. It would happen in like any sort of just event. Like
Yeah. Let's say if you're in Llangrannog talent show.
yeah. ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. It's like in this world of just like dystopian.
yeah.
And
It's
was
true.
that somebody that I used to know as well? Was that
Mate, that's on my list.
Is that on 2012? Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. That had the world in an absolute
Yes,
chokehold. It was bizarre. I remember like my younger brother would have been 11 and he made like a remix of it and it was like, oh, listen to how good this loop, like, sorry John, but listen to how good this loop is, man, on Somebody That I Can't. I was like, why does everyone love this song? That song's great, Somebody That I Used to Know. That must have dominated the charts.
The makeup was great. Like
Yeah, the music video.
Yeah.
He had one of the biggest mouths I've ever seen.
Yeah, he did.
Like, you know, for some reason when I was growing up, there was a fact that the guy from Aerosmith could fit an orange in his mouth. do you remember that fact? Big tune, and very much in the same era as like Cinnamon Challenge, Salt and Ice Challenge. Just 2012 was a weird time, but I think what you're right in that because we were that age, we were so in it.
Yeah, I mean, you. I think when you're that age, you sort of live and breathe music a little bit, even if it is treacherous.
Even if it's Gangnam
Yeah,
Style.
do you know, it was just constant.
Exactly.
I don't remember a moment where I sat in silence. Do you know what I mean? In my head, 2012, you know, do you remember Camwow?
Yes! I
Right.
was not expecting you to say that.
It's like the multicoloured man. When I think about 2012, in my mind's eye, everything is through that filter. Everything is like, that is what I see, and I can just hear
just
Gangnam Style.
Camwow.
I can hear Gangnam Style, Axis of Awesome's like, be like,
Axis of
four chords on. Every single song in 2012 was those 4 chords.
Oh, you've just done like the horrible memory that.
But that's what it is, it's like,
Yeah. In 2012, I was in a talent show where I performed the Axis of Awesome 4 chords song. I was 15 at the time. I hadn't
In school?
turned 16 yet. Yeah, I was in school. I know all the words. Like, and any time I hear any song, like, you know, that's like, if I would,
Yes.
then I would. I'm like, Axis of Awesome. Every
yeah,
time.
just a small town girl.
Yeah, just a small town. And I'm like, oh my god, it takes me back.
Titanium.
Yeah, mate, they're all in there.
They're all in it.
Name a song, it's in there.
But like every song from
I can't listen to the radio without going, thank you, Axis of Awesome. Do you have a favourite song from 2012?
Oh yeah, I do, and I'm ashamed.
Okay.
It's I Knew You Were Trouble. Taylor Swift.
Red, amazing album.
It is.
Yeah.
Great song, great bop.
yeah, amazing.
I know she was. I don't know everything. There's lots of drama about Taylor Swift, isn't there? And how she was massively screwed over by some record.
Yeah.
She's doing like Taylor's version.
Taylor's version.
Which all sound the same, right?
I think she's just re-releasing so she owns them. Some Taylor's versions are much longer and have more of a narrative, I think. One of the songs about Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, were they
Really
together?
Done Dirty by Jake Gyllenhaal. Got a
Oh,
massive
really?
jaw. Yeah.
I quite like him. I don't know why. I think he's got
I find him kind of
He's got
endearing.
kind eyes, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better looking than Conor Maynard.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. If like Conor Maynard's
It's a tosser.
he's
Yeah,
up there.
yeah, he's up there. Yeah.
Sorry, Conor. Let's talk about 2012 more broadly.
as if we haven't already just been doing that. Sorry, I'm so bad. I came in here. We're not talking about music. I'm just gonna just overthrow the whole format of this
To be honest,
podcast.
I do this every time.
Oh, I can't help myself. 2012 was such a year.
So let's talk about the Olympics.
Oh, loved it. Okay.
Go on.
I've got a musical anecdote about the Olympics.
Perfect.
It was not even an anecdote, it's something that the only thing I remember most about the opening ceremony.
Can we say it at the same time? Because I feel like it's...
Okay,
Is it just an
say
artist?
Say the artist. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Emily Sandé!
Yes! She did like a 12! She was all over the fucking thing!
She did 3
No
different versions.
No one could breathe that week. That
Read
first
all
week of
about
the Olympics without hearing read all about it. It's like Usain Bolt winning the gold medal. And it's just
You know your club on?
Yes, so weird.
Different song, but exactly the same time.
Same thing.
She did like
I
that
knew,
never
as soon as
ending.
you said that, I was like, I know exactly what you're gonna say.
No, because it has like a part 1, part 2, and part 3.
Yeah, part
And
3.
each
Part 3 is
song-
the most famous one.
But they're all the same though, really. That was weird though, wasn't it?
No, so weird.
Oh,
I
it's
can
what I
remember-
remember most.
I can remember at the time being like she came out for the first song, and I was 16. I thought the opening ceremony. I won't
Amazing.
lie to you. I've come home drunk and put it on YouTube.
Yeah, same.
I think it's great.
I love it.
Danny Boyle's finest work.
The little. It's Danny Boyle that directed
Danny Boyle
it.
directed it.
Oh right,
Yeah,
okay.
all
fair.
makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
It's
now.
literally like Slumdog Millionaire 2. That is. The opening part is
better.
than
More
Slumdog
Emily
Millionaire.
Sandé, certainly.
Yeah. Why wasn't Emily Sandé in Slumdog?
Read all about it. It never stopped.
No.
It was constant.
I can't believe you picked that up too.
Yeah.
Because I actually mentioned it to Liam before you arrived, and he was like, "Oh yeah, she was in it a bit." But I was like, the bit in the Olympics opening ceremony where the Queen's stunt double parachutes in. Part of me genuinely believes that people think that was real
Do they?
because people are like Queen died, by the way. And people have been like, oh, her bit in the
performance was
her
incredible.
bit where she came
was
into the
fearless.
stadium, like she was so brave. I'm like, what?
no.
Don't even get me started on Panton Bear.
No.
But anyway,
Oh, do you remember the Mayans being a big thing in 2012, like the Mayan calendar? Because
because of the end of the world
the
thing.
end of the world. I used to think, well, did anyone take school off that day because they thought it was going to end for you? We had that.
I can just remember it being like a thing, like a joke, and it was all over
No,
Facebook, wasn't it?
I'm
Because
so
Facebook
scared.
was big then, and like
Yeah.
Facebook famous people was quite big then. Remember
Oh my
that?
god, yeah, I do. I can't think of a single one, but there were so many. There was a Welsh one called Corey, who I remember.
Corey, I don't remember Corey. I remember an Australian girl called Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie's World.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she was the one that everyone was obsessed with on my
Yeah.
Facebook. Everyone was like, "Oh, Jamie's World."
Yeah, she was
She was
brilliant.
great. I remember her being funny.
She
to
was
be fair.
funny.
Yeah.
Good for her. I hope she's happy.
Talking to people I'm glad are happy. Another thing that happened in 2012 was Malala Yousafzai got shot in the head by the Taliban. Terrible act of violence. I do mean it.
Yeah, it was
Absolutely
awful.
And like, I have deep respect for Malala. I love what she's done with her life, and I'm so glad
She
to
got a
see
single
that she's...
coming out. What?
No.
Where's this going?
She's just been signed to my label. No, something that like did tickle me last year is I was in work listening to Malala's Desert Island Discs, and I just
What
thought,
was on it? What was on it? I need to know.
like some bangers. Justin Bieber was on there.
Really?
Yeah, and she was like, and I was just like, this is such a character arc for you. That one day on the way to school, you've been shot in the face, and 10 years later, you're talking to Lauren Laverne about what you did, what fucking records you would take on a desert island. Incredible.
It's amazing for her.
I could only wish for that kind of main character
I've
energy.
got, that is amazing.
Yeah.
She is the main character of the world.
amazing.
Of the
Apparently,
world.
she's really funny. I've got a couple of mutual friends with her, and apparently she's great.
Have you? Oh yeah, 'cause she went to like.
She went to Oxford,
Oxford.
so I've just got some clever. I went to
Yeah.
Cardiff Met, but I've just got.
You went to Oxford then. I don't know.
I've just got some clever friends.
I this is my Malala anecdote. Is I for a short spell.
We've all got one.
We've all got one. When I worked at BBC Studios as a producer, I pitched to her agents. I used to be a podcast producer, which is a fun.
Embarrassing.
This is a character arc. I used to do that at the BBC, and when I got that job, they were like, you know, BBC's great. You can like reach out to anyone, and you know, people will tend to.
Good opportunity.
So I was like, who would be the coolest person to have a podcast? And I was like, Malala.
great shout.
Emailed her agent with an idea. Malala Land.
Malala Land.
right? That's what I wanted.
Straight away, I pictured the graphic.
Of La La Land.
Just
with Malala.
making it on After Effects of just Malala floating through the
Yeah,
sky.
yeah.
Oh, with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
Oh my god, yeah, Malala Land. The other title, which wasn't as fun, was Malala Sweats the Small Stuff. I wanted it to be a podcast of Malala where it's like...
Malala sweats this woman. Shot in the face on her way to school when she was a child.
Listen, I was the youngest...
Forget that. Just don't spread the small
This is the
stuff.
problem.
Malala.
This is the problem. Why? This is why I was literally should not have. I was 19 when I got this job. That is not an age to work at the like.
No.
It was not
Pressure. Good
Yeah,
job.
it was very bad. It's because I never went to uni, so like I just sort of skipped a few years, and then people found out how old I was when I got that job, and they were like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, look, Malala's been through the worst catastrophe ever in her
She's
life.
been through the ring.
Like it, but also like it would be how good would it be for mental health if like Malala also just spoke about like remedial.
It'd be
Just like,
great.
I'm really stressed and I'm
By all
about.
accounts, Malala's quite funny.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I would have
Yeah.
loved that. I was just wanted to see a funny side to her. Raging.
Stop looking so miserable, love.
She's amazing. She's genuinely, like, obviously, like, genuinely, like, one of the most prolific, amazing people.
Amazing, yeah,
of
amazing.
Like, but it would have been fun. I just want, because she's meant to be quite funny, I wanted to hear her agent politely declare, like, sorry, she's a bit busy. And I was like, oh yeah, fair. She's saving the world. She's sorry, she's a bit busy doing her, like, humanitarian
At
work.
the like Q8 summit.
Yeah,
the next
I'm
day.
like, oh, good.
I'm glad that never
You
saw
would,
the light of
would
day.
you listen to that? You would listen to it, though.
Oh,
And
mate,
it would
the
have been-
reason I found Malala's Desert Island, well, obviously I'm obviously subscribed to Desert Island Discs anyway.
Yeah.
I love it. No, I love Desert Island Discs anyway, but the reason I listened to Malala's Desert Island Discs is because I went on the podcast app and typed in Malala.
Yeah, well, there you are, then.
Yeah, so I definitely would have listened to Malala's
Oh, that's the good. That's the day where you're like, do you know what? I want to like.
Oh, I was doing a pretty shit job. I need something.
I need some intellectual stimulation.
I need something to just show me that there is a future. If Malala can live her life, then I can finish this shit.
Yeah.
This is so niche and so weird, but I just feel like you're gonna know. So I'm gonna say it.
All right.
Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen. There was a little boy on YouTube that I just stumbled across one day called Matty B Raps. And he had one.
Matty B Raps.
He had one that was a cover of Call Me
Like
Maybe.
a child-friendly bit.
It was called I'm Not a Baby.
Yeah.
And it was like, gee, thanks, but I'm not a baby. And it's like, that's a genuine lyric. Like, I didn't make up the G thanks. That is real. It's like, hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. But here's my number, so call me baby. And here's my number.
Gee, thanks, I'm not a baby.
And then he'd be like, gee, thanks, but I'm not a baby. Because it would be like, people being like, ooh. He was only like 8. But he was like one of those kids who was 8. Like, when I was a child, I only really wear, like, this was like £3. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't really spend a lot of money on clothes. But, like, when I was a kid,
No, this is a
all
vintage
my
one.
clothes were, like, my brothers from 1992 that were 50p from Asda there.
Yeah.
Like, but I find it kind of weird when kids dress amazing.
Yeah, really odd. Really.
I don't like it.
2012 was also super dry. Renaissance. Like everyone had those coats.
Yes.
I did not have one of those
The
coats.
coats with the zips.
I had those coats with the zips. I had one at one point. After, like, the thing is, I was always one of those people that, like, years later would be like, oh, fine, I'll do the trend.
Yeah.
And I got one. My mum got me a unisex one, which was
Yeah.
brown. And everyone was like, what are you doing?
I didn't have a black one.
No.
What colour was the writing?
Yellow. Like dark yellow.
Oh.
It looked really bad.
Winnie the Pooh
Like
colour.
with my black school trousers, my bright blue like school
We were allowed to
uniform.
wear a brown coat to school.
Just dark coloured coats we were allowed to wear. But it wasn't like brown, and it should be complete. It was
I-
not brown like camel. It was brown like. It was like. Like my hair. Like turned brown. Dark brown. With like a thing. And, it was just so off. It was so not the vibe.
But yeah, I just find it like Matty B Raps was one of those
Matty B.
kids
Raps.
who
That hair, the eyes. Like,
yeah,
why do you look like that?
hair.
No, but like, why do you?
thanks.
Why do you look like that? It's just strange, isn't it?
Yeah, because he starred himself like a 17-year-old boy.
Yeah,
but he was
like
a
8,
child,
yeah, I didn't
and
like
I
that.
did not like it.
No.
I looked him up on Instagram a couple of months ago, just out of sheer
What's he doing
interest.
now?
Looks exactly the same. To my knowledge, still rapping, but none of the clean stuff anymore.
No.
All explicit.
He's like, fuck, thanks,
Yeah.
I'm not a baby.
Fuck you. I'm 17. that's what his raps are like now.
I used to look at MTV a while ago, and Not when I was 13, just to be clear. I was 18, 17, 18.
Okay.
And I was in the queue having breakfast. There's like a little canteen thing, and I was like, do you know what? Today I'm having a cook breakfast. I'm having like a full breakfast. She was like, do you want eggs? I was like, yeah. Do you know what I do? Yeah, boiled egg. I love a boiled egg. And so
Boiled?
Yeah, well. A little voice came from behind me in the queue.
Boiled?
I went exactly like that. I went, boiled, you're going to be farting all day, you are, stinky, like that. And I was like, oh, like, no, I'll be fine. And he was like, oh, I hate boiled egg, I'll always have a scramble. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I was like, I recognise him. I must have been in a meeting with him somewhere. And then someone was like, Ollie, can you come? And I was like, oh shit, it's Ollie Mears.
Ollie Mears called you stinky. That's the name. Chapter in your autobiography. Yeah. Ollie Mears called me stinky in the breakfast queue.
He went, oh, you're going to fart all day, you are stinky.
That's a bold thing to say.
Yeah, it is. He was quite. But I think that's the thing, when you're Ollie Mears, you can just go around and say that. And people
You can walk around, my name is Leila Navabi.
I'm going to take a minute. Stinky. I'm stinky. But whilst that, please excuse my writing. I can stop my hands from shaking because you're stinky.
To be fair to Ollie Mears, like, please meet you, my name is that, and dear darling.
Yeah, and Troublemaker.
All three.
Troublemaker.
I liked him.
Yeah, I did. I think he was great. I like him. He seemed like... He was the one that was like, once tweeted that there was a bomb in House of Fraser. And he was just like, bomb, everyone ran, and everyone like, he was like, sorry, actually.
Shit, sorry.
It
was just someone had boiled egg. I used to work in the shoe shop, for a long time.
Nice.
I've just seen Liam laugh because he knows what's coming.
Right.
He also worked in shoe. But this wasn't actually that long ago. This is probably about 3 years ago. I was serving a lovely couple, and it was a woman trying on shoes. She was like trying on a few pairs, and she wasn't like in between sizes. So,
what shoes were they?
I think they were Birkenstocks.
Oh, nice.
It was
Simple.
summertime.
Yeah, that's great.
Some kind of sandal, and the guy was kind of like smiling, like not like he knew me, but just very polite. And I was like, "Oh, I know you. You're a celeb," but I couldn't put my finger on who he was. So I was saying to like people who worked there, I was like going back and forth with the shoes, and I was like, "Oh, I'm serving a celebrity," and he was proper Welsh voice. He was like from Neath, I think.
Oh, right.
And I was like, "Oh, so he's a Welsh
Racking
celebrity."
my brain now.
Yeah. So I'm like, what? Like everything that I've seen, I was like, "Is he a comedian?" He's one person in particular, Charlie, I was still mates with now, and I was saying, "Charlie, who is he?" And Charlie was like, "Oh, I'll try and work it out. And Charlie was like, "I don't recognise him." And this was like on the stairs, coming back from the stockroom. I was like, I can see him in like period clothing, like Downton Abbey or something. I was like, I can see him in like a hat. And Charlie was like, "I don't know who it is, mate." And I was like, asking a few others. I was like, "Yeah, who is it?" No one knew. Anyway, he carried on serving, and then she eventually bought the shoes, and it was just like, okay, like, nice to meet you, have a lovely day, bye. And for about 10 minutes after, I was still like, who was that guy? Like, who was it? Anyway, it turned out it was the funeral director who did my dad's funeral. That's why I could see him in a hat and tails, because he fucking slowly walked through Slow in front of my dad's coffin. No. And yeah, it was awful. Funny.
That is really funny.
But, and then like half an hour later, someone was like, "Rach, do you work out who he was?" And I was like, "Nah."
No.
I don't know who it is. I was like, "Fucking hell." To wrap up, we've got a game.
Yeah, go on. Is this man a celebrity or someone that's dealt with a family tragedy? Let's play that game.
Who is this? Funeral director or film director?
I'd love that. Yeah,
I'm gonna make that game.
Yeah, do it.
Copyright on that. Right, to finish, I've had a lovely time talking about 2012.
Yeah, great. Thank you for having me.
It's been thorough, to say the least.
Yeah, no, we don't mess about.
We're going to end with just a little game of Guess the Intro. Classic. A couple we've already mentioned, so you're going to get.
Okay.
But yeah, are you ready to give it a go? It's out of 7. We will start with this.
Is this Heartbeat? Is that what it's called?
It has that in the lyric.
Heartbeat.
And then think about what comes after.
I don't know.
Do you know who it's by?
Is that Katy Perry?
It's Kesha.
Kesha.
It's Die Young by Kesha.
Oh yeah.
Which is actually a fucking great song. I actually
Yeah,
just
about-
added that to a playlist, and I'm not sad about it.
No, don't. That's brilliant.
Next one.
This is. Oh yeah, it's just so weird. Like, why is it Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? I always forget that. Like, da, da,
Are you gonna say what it is? Or?
Yeah, that is. That is somebody that I used to know by
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I gotcha. Next up.
Oh my god, this is brought back a weird.
I know. That's it.
Da, 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 da. It's
Da,
Robbie
da.
Williams.
Yeah.
Hey ho,
Yeah.
here she go. Da, da, da. Yeah.
What's it called?
Candy.
Candy.
Yeah,
Think
yeah,
she's
yeah,
made
yeah,
of candy.
That's a good song.
Great tune.
Great tune. He's full of them.
Yeah.
He is full of them.
Number 4.
This is Mama Do the Hum.
Yeah. Bye.
I could not tell you.
What?
Mama Do the Hum. Oh, do the hum.
I don't know who that's by. That's like
Is it
prime being in school in 2012.
Is it?
That's
Is
your
it?
favourite
Okay,
band.
okay. Oh, it's a band. Oh, Rizzle Kids.
Rizzle Kids.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. Of
kinda
course
gave
it
you
is.
that, but I'll give you it.
Yeah.
Rizzle Kids. Mama Do the Hum. Absolutely. This one actually goes off in like a non-ironic way.
I have no idea what that
Fact
is.
about this person, you might be shocked because I don't think I ever really married the two facts up together. The fact that this person is the one who was married to Elon Musk.
Is that Grimes?
That was Grimes.
What's the song called?
Oblivion.
I
It's a
didn't know
great
that.
tune. 3 out of 5 so far.
Okay.
Next.
This is fun. We Are Young.
We Are Young. Oh, what an absolute.
Do you know
banger.
there was a YouTube prank about this where people would call their friends reading each line of the
Give me a second. I
line,
need to get
my
the
story straight, and people would be like, "Okay, my
friend's
friend's
in
in the
the bathroom."
bathroom." Yeah,
No, I
and everyone would be like, "Go away!" Like,
As soon as you give me a second, I need to get. I'll be like, why are you singing Fun? Okay, well done. Fun. We Are Young. And last. No.
is that School Me Baby?
Yeah.
Carly Rae Jepsen.
Carly Rae Jepsen. You got 5 out of 7.
That's all right.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
happy with
pretty
that.
good go. Considering you were entering this podcast not knowing you had to talk.
I was like, oh god.
You've done all right.
Great. Oh, I'm chuffed. Great.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you for having me. This is lovely.
Insightful chat. I've learned a lot.
I've learned a lot. I'm going to go home and watch and listen to Malala talk about Desert Island.
Oh yeah,
Discs.
it's really good.
That
You'll
sounds
enjoy
fascinating.
it. To Malala.
To Malala. Cheers.